Good morning, pre-Ks. Come on over. Find a spot you like a lot. 1, 2, 3. Find a spot you like a lot. Listen to me. Find a spot you like a lot. 3, 2, 1. Find a spot you like a lot and have some fun. Do you know what we're talking about today? I have on my tree sweatshirt. I think this tree sweatshirt's older than most trees. It's around 30 years old, this tree sweatshirt. I've been wearing it on Earth Day for a very, very long time because I want to remind people how important trees and all of nature's things are. And Earth Day is a good day to think about it. So come on over, get comfy, and let's find out what day it is today. The last time I saw you was Tuesday. The last time I saw you was Tuesday, but that's not today. I'm all ready for a brand new day. Can you remember what comes after Tuesday? I bet you can. Today is Wednesday, Wednesday, smack in the middle of the week. Yes, it's Wednesday, Wednesday, smack in the middle of the week. Monday and Tuesday are the beginning of the week when we start learning. Thursday and Friday are the end of the week when we finish up a unit. I'm stuck in the middle with you on a Wednesday. I'm stuck in the middle with you on a Wednesday. It's not really stuck. I'm so happy to be a part of your day. And I hope you're enjoying all the Pied Piper videos that help you learn at home. So today is Wednesday. Yesterday was the number 21. What comes after 21? If you said 22, that will do. Good for you. The families after the teens are so easy. After 21, you change the 1 from a 1 to a 2. That will do. 2 in the front seat and a 2 in the back seat. I think the birds are agreeing with me. I hear them answering. 20, 20, 22. When there's a 2 in the front seat and a 2 in the back seat. 20, 20, 22. It is the 22nd day and it is Earth Day. It is Earth Day and right now it's a bright, sunshiny, a little bit cold Earth Day. I'm looking forward to our celebration today about Mother Earth, and I can't wait till Friday when you and I take a look outside and see how our Earth is doing. The 22nd day, let's find a 3-letter card to go to. Mix them up, mix them up, mix them up, mix them up, mix them up. I'm gonna mix them high, mix them low, mix them behind my back. Mix them, mix them, mix them, mix them up. Gonna mix them, mix them, mix them, mix them up. All right. We have a family with 2 vowels in it. A, E, I, O, U, sometimes Y are our vowels, and there's 2 vowels in this family, A at the front and E at the end. Remember we said when there's 2 vowels, the second vowel is silent. Shh, don't say anything, E, shh. And it gives its vowel power to the A to say its name. It's the AKE family. The AKE family. Let's find some rhymes in the AKE. Ache family. There's C, cake, R, rake, B, bake, S, N, snake, L, lake, and F, L, flake. There's cake and lake and flake and shake and snake, bake and rake. Lots of consonant blends there in this family. The AKE family, a good 3-letter family. Let's take the flag. Stand up straight and tall, take your right hand, put it on your heart, feel it beating, and say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag, this flag, of the United States of America, and to the republic for which the flag stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And today we're talking about Mother Earth. We saw all the things on the earth yesterday, and now we're talking about why they're in trouble. What is going on that we have to worry so much about nature's gifts? Why is it that we're so worried about the things that nature gives us? Well, let's check it out. We said the first thing we need and we use every day is water. We need lots and lots of water. We talked about all the things we use water for. There's so many, drinking and bathing and cooking. So what's going on with the water? It rains all the time. We found out in the water cycle that the rain comes out of those puffy clouds, right? And then the heat, the sun, makes that water evaporate, go back into the clouds. We heard and learned about the circle of water. We learned all about the water cycle last week, so we know that lots of water is reused over and over again. So what is the problem? Well, we waste a lot of it. And we have to be aware that the water cannot last forever if we don't conserve and make sure we don't waste it. Well, I know when I brush my teeth, I turn that water off, that spigot off whenever I'm brushing my teeth. I don't keep the water running. No. My dad was the water commissioner for Westchester County. He loved water, and he made sure that it was never wasted, and we always had enough. And boy, I got in big trouble at my house. Kathleen, Susan, if I left that water dripping. And I do the same thing to my children and grandchildren. You cannot waste water by letting it run out of the nozzle while you're brushing your teeth. Brush, turn it on, rinse, and then turn it off again. I love hot showers. I don't know about you. I love them, and some of my grandchildren do too. And I have lots of hot water that comes out of my shower, and I love to stand there and wash my hair and feel the water on my back. But you should not be taking showers that are too long. We need to conserve that water, or it won't be there when we use it. I don't wash my car too many times. I make sure I wait till it's dirty. I don't leave the water on in my yard to water my grass. We cannot waste it. And then we have to remember that all the sources of water, the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, we can't throw garbage in it. Sometimes if someone sees a body of water like a lake or a pond, they think, oh, well, who cares what's in the bottom of that? I'm going to throw my old washing machine in there. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to throw some old garbage in there. I might throw some plastic bags in there. No one's going to see it. Well, the things that live underneath the water see it, and those can be dangerous for fish and things that live under the water, if there's things that do not belong there. Anything that goes somewhere it does not belong in the water, the air, or the land is called pollution. And that pollutes the water. You might see things floating at the top of the water. When you go to Sparkle Lake, you might see garbage around the outside of the water. We have to make sure that no one pollutes our natural resource of water, and no one wastes our natural resource of water, because we really need it every day. But why are we worried about the land? There's so much land. There's so much dirt out there. Why are we so worried about the land? Well, pollution gets thrown on the land as well. People will find an empty spot and think it's a good place to dump things. They're just going to throw something into the woods that doesn't belong there. An old car, a wheelbarrow, something that they don't know how to get rid of. They just dump it onto the land where no one can see it. They figure if it's covered by trees or no one goes there, it doesn't matter, but it does. It matters to the animals that live there. And things like metal and glass will not turn into dirt. That's called pollution. We do not want pollution on our dirt. And we have to remember that you can't cut down so many trees. I know we need the trees. We need the trees to make paper. We need the trees to make furniture. We need the trees to build houses, but whenever we cut a tree, we need to plant another tree in the ground so that they will continue to grow. Trees are so important. They give us shade. They give us clean air. We can't be cutting them down and replacing them. We can't be building houses everywhere. We have to leave some place for Mother Nature to do her work. We can't just build houses and houses everywhere and big tall buildings and get rid of the land. The land gives us so much. We have to make sure that we protect it. We can't pollute it. We can't throw things on it or waste it. Now, what about the air? We found out we really need that every day, too, to breathe. What's happening to the air? How come it's not staying fresh? Well, if you ever go down to places like New York City or big areas where there's a lot of big buildings and things going on, there's not as much clean air. A lot of smoke down there. Now, one of the things that causes a lot of the pollution of the air are cars. And when we drive a car, I'm sure you know that there's smoke that comes out of the end of that car. Cars that are driving on the road create pollution. That's why next year when you go on the school bus with 65 other boys and girls, you are helping the environment. Because if 66 cars drive for every school bus, that's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cars out on the road that don't need to be. Buses and planes and trains are called mass transit, the subways in the city. They're very good for the environment because many, many people go on just a few vehicles to get where they need to go when they're going to work or going to something for fun. So cars are one of the biggest sources of pollution. That smoke that comes out at the end of those cars causes the most pollution of all. We have new guidelines for cars so that people cannot drive cars that cause pollution. Planes have new guidelines. Lots of vehicles that emit smoke have to pass certain standards so that they are not causing air pollution. We can't be chopping down the trees and not planting more flowers. Remember, it's the flowers and the trees that clean the air up. We're going to learn how flowers and trees make clean air and get rid of all the smoke. Factories that make things like bags. If you're driving on the highway, you'll see big, tall buildings, big, huge buildings, and out of the chimney is coming this big, black smoke. All that smoke is polluting the air. So the biggest concerns of the land, the water, and the air are the pollution. We have to make sure that people aren't polluting them, and we have to make sure that we are not wasting them. And today's story is the Bernstein Bears Don't Pollute. Oh, one of my favorites to read at Earth Day. The Bernstein Bears Don't Pollute. Let's make sure I get this close enough so you can see all the pictures. There's no glare from the overhead lights. There we go. The Bernstein Bears Don't Pollute. Let's find out what happens. Save the Earth. When Bear Country's cubs learn that pollution's a fact, they help grown-ups learn to clean up their act. Yeah, sometimes grown-ups don't remember either. Oh, look at all the things that are falling on the ground. Now remember, some things will go into the ground, like banana peels or apples. Those you can use in your compost pile or in a compost container near your sink. These things will become food for the earth. But paper and plastic, those things will not. Let's find out what happens when the Bernstein Bears don't pollute. Well, look here, said Papa Bear as he opened the evening news. Your friend, Professor Actual Factual, has his picture right there in the paper. Oh, said Brother and Sister Bear, coming to see. There's a big story, too, said Papa Bear, and a headline. My goodness, said Mama. What's it about? Leading scientist claims that Bear Country's in terrible trouble, Papa said, reading the headline. What kind of trouble are we in? Asked Sister Bear. Papa, who was reading the story to himself, didn't answer. Well, what sort of trouble? Said Mama, repeating Sister's question. Oh, you know, Professor Actual Factual. He's always worried about things, making a big fuss about wasting things and pollution. Well, I do know how Professor Actual Factual is, said Mama. He's a friend of ours, and I think he's quite sensible. So do I, said Sister. Me too, agreed Brother. Oh yeah, he's a great guy, all right, said Papa. He's dug up some great, terrific dinosaur bones, and he's done a lot for the museums and all the things in the town, and I'm as much against pollution as the next fellow. But I just don't think a couple of candy wrappers and a drinking cup and cutting down trees is the end of the world. Sister, who was about to complete her homework, finished quickly, but Brother Bear was stuck. Teacher Bob had asked him to do a report on endangered species, things that could no longer live on the earth. The book he had taken out from the school library wasn't too helpful. Of course, the kind of shape Bear Country was in wasn't as simple as Papa made it seem. How Bear Country looked depended on your point of view. It looked fine from the Bear family's front step. It looked even better if you were a bird flying high above the earth. But if you were a squirrel and you had a squirrel eye view, you were finding fewer and fewer acorns because too many trees were being cut down. Bear Country didn't look so fine. If you were a duck and had a duck's eye view, you might think the professor was right. There was pollution all along the streams and creeks. And if you had a fish eye view, you might think things were downright awful. So many things there in the bottom of the water where the fish want to live. The next day, brother and sister decided to visit Professor Actual Factual. He was at the museum working hard. When he asked them about this condition of the earth, he said, "We're in trouble. People are polluting the air, the water, and the earth. We need to do something about it." Brother and sister got concerned. "We'd love to help. What can we do?" "Well," said Professor Actual Factual, "I'd love to come to your school, talk to your teacher about it, and see if I can come in." And they did. The very next day, Professor Actual Factual came to the school to talk about ecology, how things live together, conservation, making sure we don't waste things, and recycling, using things over and over again. The Cubs learned a lot from Professor Actual Factual, and they had some ideas of their own. "How about we have a recycling program?" said one of the Cubs. "Maybe for newspapers to start," added another. "Then if it works, we can recycle cans and bottles." Tim Honeypot said he'd talk to his dad, Mayor Honeypot, about getting a recycling station going in town. Brother Bear remembered Grizzly Gus's garage. "People shouldn't be able to put oil or things that don't belong in the streams. That will hurt the fish," he said. Babes Bruno, whose dad was the chief of police, said, "I'll talk to my dad. If there isn't a law against pollution, I'll make sure that there is." Even Too Tall helped with an idea. "My uncle owns a super-duper market. He can make sure that people use their bags over and over again when they shop at the grocery store." "Good suggestions," said the professor, "and I think everyone will want to cooperate." "Good idea," said the teacher. "We're going to make sure that everyone listens." Cousin Freddie had the best idea of all. "Let's start a club to show how pollution can hurt the earth. We'll call it the Earth Savers Club. We'll make posters and bumper stickers and have cleanups and marches and parades." But there was still a problem of Papa and the fellow wood bear cutters who used all the wood up when they cut trees down to make furniture. That evening, brother and sister told Mom and Papa about the Earth Savers Club and all the plans for stopping pollution. Mama was very impressed. Papa was too. "Well, as I said before, I'm just as much against pollution as the next fellow." But when the Cubs asked him to be sure that he and his fellow woods bears planted a new tree for every one that they cut down, he got a little grumpy. "Humph, it's hard enough to cut down trees without having to plant them as well. Besides, what's all big fuss? They're just trees." "My dear," said Mama, "the Cubs are right. The forest is a living thing and it deserves respect." Papa was about to say "pumph," but he thought better of it. That night, something happened. The problem of conserving the forest must have been on his mind, because when he went to bed, he had a dream. In fact, it was really a nightmare. In the dream, he was walking towards the forest to cut wood when the trees began to sway and wave their branches. Then the branches turned into reaching, grasping arms. Then the tree climbed out of the earth and started to chase Papa Bear. "Help, help, help," cried a terrified Papa Bear in his sleep. "The trees, they're after me." He woke up very scared. "Are you having a nightmare?" asked Mama Bear. Well, must have been something I ate," said Papa Bear. "Or something you were talking about," said Mama Bear. "Maybe trees?" "Oh, pooh," Papa said, and turned over and went back to sleep. But it wasn't easy getting back to sleep. The Cubs didn't expect to solve all of Bear Country's pollution problems, but the Earth Savers Club made a very good start. The mayor declared a special holiday called Earth Savers Day, and the Cubs had a big parade. Brother and Sister Bear marched at the head with Professor Actual Factual. There were many grown-ups in the parade, too, including Papa Bear, who carried a new sign. And the sign said, "A good woods bear plants a tree for every single one he cuts. No ifs, no ands, no maybe, no buts." What a good job. A story all about pollution. And we're going to be talking about how to help the earth this week and next at Pied Piper School.